This was the news. Obviously, a big proxy battle going on between Bob Iger and Nelson Peltz. George Lucas has weighed in as one of the biggest individual shareholders of Disney stock. George Lucas put out a statement backing Bob Iger, CEO. George Lucas backs Disney and Bob Iger in proxy fight. Creating magic is not for amateurs. The filmmaker, Star Wars creator, and Disney shareholder released a statement in support of the company and its CEO on Tuesday morning. Creating magic is not for amateurs. When I sold Lucasfilm just over a decade ago, I was delighted to become a Disney shareholder because of my longtime admiration for its iconic brand and Bob Iger's leadership. When Bob recently returned to the company, I was relieved. No one knows Disney better. I remain a significant shareholder because I have full faith and confidence in the power of Disney and Bob's track record of driving long-term value. I have voted all of my shares for Disney's 12 directors and urge other shareholders to do the same.
I think this is a good time to remind everyone that the person that chose Kathleen Kennedy to run Lucasfilm would be one George Lucas. So that is the man. This is confirmed, Ryan, but that there's another article out there because George Lucas also said, and with keeping Bob on, we will then be prepared to release the George Lucas cut of Rise of Skywalker. I think that's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
That had to have been it, right? That had to have been, this is actually all a ploy because Bob he reached out behind the scenes and told George, if you back me, I'll let you come back and run Lucasfilm. I get it's going to be the next fucking rumor out there, dude. It's going to happen.
But yeah, so again, I think this puts to bed, not that it ever should have been taken with any legitimacy, but this whole George is working behind the scenes to, to
take down Bob Iger.
Yeah, basically people were building it up like it was like Crimson Tide with like Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington, come on, man. George is a legend. George is the GOAT. George created Star Wars. I love George Lucas. I respect George Lucas. I also understand that George Lucas has never been someone that, was going to be like considered based. I think
he sold it a fucking decade ago, right? He sold it a decade ago because he wanted other people to continue these stories and stuff. And he wasn't interested in putting in that kind of time anymore. Just wanted to spend time with his family.
Yes.
And I don't think any of those things have changed, 12 years later, other than he's just gotten that much older.
No, he's definitely older. And I'm sure essentially what happened is Bob Iger called him up and said, look, I've got this board situation, blah, 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 blah. I really would appreciate if you could put a statement out. Obviously George Lucas, does he still have shares? What I mean by that is he's still a major shareholder. Has he sold off like the majority
I think he's
of them?
The biggest individual shareholder.
Okay. Still then. Okay. I didn't know if he had sold them. Okay. He's got vested interest for sure, but I'm not going to be taking any shots at George Lucas. This is not surprising news to me. I think that some people probably had it in their mind that George behind the scenes was really I think he does not like what Disney has done with Lucasfilm. I don't think that means he's going to go scorched earth. You know what I mean? I don't think that anything like that's going to happen. I think he probably looked at it and doesn't like it. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a guy who's connected to Kathleen Kennedy, Steven Spielberg, Bob Iger. He's connected with the worst people, in Hollywood. They know all his dirt. He knows all their dirt. They're going to stick together. It is what it is.
George Lucas has no dirt.
None.
There's nothing.
So perfect. He's perfect.
He's never done anything wrong in his life. I mean, there's stuff he's done wrong, but not like that wrong.
Whatever. You don't know that. But Kathleen Kennedy knows. Kathleen Kennedy knows everything. Kathleen Kennedy got some dirt on people. I do believe that. But I also think that they have dirt on her. Hollywood's just a fucking shitty place full of shitty people, man. It really is.